Hi, welcome back to my channel. We are in December. In 3 weeks' time, we'll be arriving in 2025. So I thought of making a video as to how one can start thinking about your career in finance in 2025. So how does 2025 looks like for people interested in making or starting your career in finance? Well, first of all, things are getting better. The economic environment is getting better. There are no doubt a number of uncertainties still, but overall, the global economic environment is getting better. I'm not talking about India. I know a couple of days back we got the GDP growth figures for Q3 and it doesn't look very nice. But globally, things are improving compared to last year. And 2024 has been one of the most interesting year for a variety of reasons. First of all, because it's an election year in most countries in the world, and we also had election in the US. That was the biggest event in 2024. Lots of uncertainties around the political environment, but also the economic environment around the world. So things were not great. Job market was very tight. There were simply not many hiring. Banks were under immense pressure all around the world, and tech companies were well, they're doing well for because of the rebounds, but for a variety of reasons they're also not hiring because they simply don't know what's the future going to be. But things are improving. We already have a couple of rate cuts in many parts of the world, and that's probably going to continue in 2025 for a few more rate cuts. It's probably not going to be a soft landing, but nevertheless, we will still have a number of rate cuts, right? With all these things in mind, how are things looking in 2025? Well, for if you're looking for a career in finance in 2025, I would say it's going to be a better year compared to this year, and even much better year compared to 2023. 2022 and 2023 perhaps were the worst years to start your career in finance, and 2024 become a bit better, and I hope it becomes even more better in 2025 for a variety of reasons. First of all, the election year is behind us now. The second thing is that uh, interest rate is coming down. That is actually quite good for the economy as a whole. I think for the banking world also, especially in terms of the spending, how much they spend in terms of doing the more technical work, innovation work, IT infrastructure work, um, all the back office, middle office work. Uh, they spend a lot of money, and lower interest rate actually gives them higher optimism, right? And many consulting outsourcing firms benefit from that, and that's probably the reason why you see now the you know this the stock prices of consulting firms, IT consulting firms, management consulting, the ones who are listed, is actually going up simply because we are expecting um, the interest rates to come down, and a lot of the finance consulting work will come to India, um, and that's actually a good thing for the people in India interested in starting your career in finance. But there are other reasons also why you should be optimistic about 2025. One is uh, it's so after a few years of a downturn, right, there is almost always an upturn, almost always a better time, especially in the job market. The job market has been terribly bad for almost 3 years now. At least in my career of 15 years, I've never seen that for 3 years continuously we have had a downturn in the job market. Even in 2007-8 crisis of global financial crisis time, job market improved after 2 3 years. So it's quite possible that 2025 is going to be much better when it comes to hiring, right? And there was also a bit of a concern regarding AI replacing many of these jobs. I think that is perhaps not happening, because I think a lot of the AI leaders are saying that we have long way to go before AI can replace a number of things. We already have the GPT doing the mundane content creation, writing type work, coding, some basic coding work, but beyond that, it's not going to replace anyone. Obviously, it is going to replace some of the work, but that's not going to replace everything, right? So that part is also not a concern for the next few years, at least. So all in all, it sounds like it appears like 2025 will be better um, year for career in general. But if you're looking for a career in finance, that's definitely one. If you are based out of India and you want to make a career in finance, I would highly suggest to focus more on the technical side of finance. The front office roles are the simply not many in India, and the ones which are there, they're mostly hire graduate, like top graduates from top IIMs. And Indian banks, private banks, they don't hire too many people. Public sector hiring is altogether is a different thing in India, and you know that very well. The foreign banks primarily outsource the technical work to India, and they pay reasonably well. If you convert, um, if somebody is paying like 60, $70,000 to someone sitting in India, convert that to Indian rupees, that's like 40, 50 lakhs. So that's also a good amount of money in India, right? For senior, mid-career professionals, that's actually amazing, right? And but that's provided in more technical jobs, right? So there is a perception that if you're not working in front office roles, then you will not make money. Certainly not. You probably will make more money working as a technical person for these foreign financial organization compared to a front office guy who is working for Indian private banks, right? So even I know people who are not from in top tier college, and they're just good at some technical area, either IT, modeling, or anything of that sort. They're making more money than the IIM Ahmedabad, or Bangalore, or Calcutta graduates working for ICICI or HDFC Bank in some front office role. Okay, so keep that in mind, that you should hone your skills in more technical areas. But that doesn't mean that I'm discouraging you to look for jobs which are in more business area, but the opportunities in India are much less, I would say. That's been my experience, but I'm not sure if that has changed since then. Um, Certification is also important. I think if you are keen on doing CFA, FRM, CQA, any other industry recognized certification, go for it. You should not spend way too much money on these certifications, but as long as you can afford, I would highly recommend you to go for certifications. If you cannot afford those certifications, you could also explore other certifications. Connecting with people is very important. This is something I have realized of late in life. I think it's good to talk to people who are in the field, preferably people who are a little bit senior to you. They have spent more time in the industry. I think it's good to connect with them to whatever means, either through LinkedIn or directly, just to clarify your doubts in case you have any. Very important. And those who are in place still studying in universities, I would say that make the most out of the university. Even if you do not get placed right after university, don't not worry too much. Just improve your profile. Nowadays you can also apply directly and get hired, unlike in my days when we didn't have any LinkedIn as such. We didn't know where jobs were advertised. It's just Naukri.com that day, those days. Things were much different, but things have improved a lot. So explore, learn as much as possible, and connect. These are three things to do if you want to um, make the most out of 2025. Even if you are a mid-career professionals, you can also use these three things. But if you are somebody who is just starting, and in any career, not just be in finance. I think it's important to learn, uh, connect, and yeah, and be focused on work. All right, that's something I want to share with you. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and happy New Year in advance. I probably will be taking a few weeks off, so will not be making many videos. But otherwise, enjoy your time, enjoy the holidays, and I wish you good health. Thanks, guys.